Ducky by Aditya PK18 is a physics platformer game where you place a duck as you launch and stick along the surface to reach the goal. Let's go ahead and make it in Fancade. First, initialize the player and goal block. Then, position the camera to be at the middle of the level. Set up the gravity to go down in the Z-axis. For the controls, when the player touches the screen, we save the starting and current touch position. We then use those values to determine the player's velocity. Make sure to add a limit to avoid giving the duck severe head trauma. For the trajectory, we can model this using a parabola. Break the velocity to its x and z coordinates, then loop through a number of points. We multiply the index with the velocity for x, and we use this formula to determine the y position. We then position particles to those points to paint the path. Once the play lets go, we propel our bird with our velocity. Afterwards, we check for collision. If it hits something, we tell the duck to stop moving and stick to that surface, as well as add some particles to show the impact. For the win condition, we check if the hit object matches with a goal block. If it does, then we win. For the spikes, we store them in a list and have a loop checking if it collided with a player. If it did, then we lose. For the keys and gates, we save them in a list, loop to the keys, give some hover with sine waves, then check if its distance from the player is less than a certain number. If so, we hide it and increase the number of keys. For the gates, we also inspect its distance, as well as check if the player has a key. If it's close enough, we also hide it but we decrease the number of keys. For the enemies, we add some raycast in front of where they're facing to check for any obstacles. If they hit anything, then we tell the guy to go the other way. We also get the offset between it and the player to have their eyes on the prize. Well, I guess technically it's only an eye, but that doesn't really roll off the tongue, you know? I mean, who am I to judge? I have no eyes. Like, at all. My existence is an affront to the gods.